You're watching Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
Welcome to the Sun Belt Championship as part of Dr. Pepper Champions Week. We're in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's got the look of Provence with all the purple. It's got the feel of playoff for Wayne Knight and James Madison. A win tonight, they're in the mix for the 12-team college football playoff. Troy looking for its third Sun Belt championship in 4 years, and they've got their quarterback, Goose Crowder, back. That's the hardware they're playing for tonight, and certainly James Madison playing for a whole lot more. According to the ESPN metrics, if James Madison wins tonight, they have a better than 50-50 chance at the college football playoff. If the Dukes win, and then the Duke Blue Devils win in the ACC Championship Saturday night, James Madison would be a virtual lock for the 12-team playoff. Anish Shroff, Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware will get to Paul Carcaterra in a little bit. This James Madison team at home, but they've had distractions this week. Their head coach Bob Chesney is off to UCLA soon. He will coach the team if they make the playoff, however, but 10 straight wins. This has been the best team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about from offense, special teams, and defense. They are secure across the board. It is a team that has power force size, so not a lot of teams want to line up and go toe-to-toe with James Madison. It's been fun to watch this journey all season long.
Their only loss this season was to Louisville, a game that they led at halftime as we watched the Dukes take the field. This JMU offense, the best in the Sun Belt, led by the player of the year in the league, Alonzo Barnett.
Yeah, they went exclusively to Alonzo Barnett after the Louisville loss. What did they do, Anish? They ripped off 10 wins in a row. He is a dynamic runner. He can make every single throw. A dual threat quarterback that forces you to play 11 on 11. Keeps defensive coordinators up late at night.
Remarkable story. He tore his ACL at the end of last year, returned for fall camp, and he's put together a spectacular season. He will have to contend with the best pass rusher in the Sun Belt, Donnie Smith.
Yeah, he is a guy that has a draftable grade, can really get after you. He's going to give Joseph Simmons fits all game long, coming from that left side of the offense's, that side of the defense. He is a guy that just makes plays and leads the league with 9 sacks of his own. He is unreal as a pass rusher.
Hardware on the line, playoff possibilities in the air.
only 4 years ago, this program was in the FCS. Since joining the FBS, they have won close to 80% of their games. A 10-win season, Andre and Anish, a chance to win a Sun Belt championship, but more importantly, a legitimate shot at a college football playoffs, and these lunatics will have a word to say about it.
Clark, just don't get hit with snowballs. They were throwing snowballs
right. Be careful
before the game. Now they're fired up, and the story for James Madison, as Clark outlined, from FCS to FBS.
It's impressive.
There has been almost no transition period. It's been smooth. They've been just as dominant at this level as they were at the FCS
level. A couple of years ago, they would have been eligible to compete for the conference championship, but for the fact that they had to serve a little time before they could actually compete for it. So this has been a heck of a program. Bob Chesney, now the head coach, leaving to go to UCLA before him. Coach Signetti, who's won a bunch of games here, and before going to Indiana, he's got them in the playoff. This is one heck of a story here with JMU.
James Madison won the toss, deferred, so Troy will receive, and they will begin at the 25-yard line on this 29-degree night here in Harrisonburg. The quarterback for Troy is Goose Crowder. Broke his collarbone early in the season, missed 6 games. This is his 4th game back. Last week in a win or go home type of game against Southern Miss. He played well, and the last 2 weeks when he started, this offense has been re-energized.
Yeah, talking to Sean Reagan this week, the offensive coordinator, he says he beats him to the building. He's there for Thursday's installations, the 3rd down package, beat him to the office, and then was sitting in the meeting room with the receivers shortly after, teaching it to them. This is a young man that's extremely prepared.
He comes out throwing, takes a big hit, and finds Peyton Higgins, who is Mr. First Down, for a gain of 17. In this Troy offense, they're going to need big plays. They said that's the MO tonight, using a little tempo after that first down against the #1 defense in the Sun Belt. On the ground, and Tay Crowder is turned away by Mark Thomas. Loss of a yard on the play. In this Troy offense, they lost both starting offensive tackles to season-ending injuries. The O-line has been a Jenga puzzle. It's about as stable as it can be right now. They've struggled to run the ball most of the season, Andre, but they're going to have to do it tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with some size up front that JMU possesses, especially inside a tackle. Terry Lockett along with Emmanuel Bush, 2 big guys that can get pushed right in the middle of that JMU defense.
James Madison, the #1 run defense in the league. That ball batted in the air, and luckily for Crowder, it falls harmlessly incomplete. Impact players are brought to you by Voya.
Yeah, for Troy on the outside edges, the strength of their offense, Rod Thomas along with Peyton Higgins, 2 guys that go 31 catches and 32 catches apiece. They are the strength of the offense. Trent Hendrick is the leader of JMU's defense, and they can get after you from a lot of different ways, led by that young man.
This is what Troy wanted to avoid. 3rd and long against a JMU defense with 10 all-conference players. That ball is broken up by DJ Barksdale, a 3rd-team All-Sun Belt selection, and Troy will send out its punter. Evan Crenshaw might be the best punter in the country.
Yeah, Elijah Culp and Justin Egan, they are the corners for JMU, but Barksdale, they are not afraid to lock him up on the other team's best receiver. In that situation, Peyton Higgins, who we just highlighted as an impact player, trying to get the ball to him. Guess who's there? Barksdale.
Crenshaw, the special teams player of the year in the Sun Belt. This one takes a Troy bounce, and it's downed inside the 20-yard line. So we get a first look at this James Madison offense. What they do, as well as any team in the country, is run the football. #1 rushing offense in conference, 6th nationally. And the trigger man, Alonzo Barnett, he can do a little bit of both. He's had a game this year where he's thrown 4 touchdowns. He's had a game this year where he's run for 4 touchdowns.
AB3, a 3-year starter at JMU, and a guy that just gets it done offensively for the purple and gold here.
2 tight ends to begin the game, and Wayne Knight, the running back. Barnett takes off. A first down and more as he runs out across the 30, a pickup of 16 for Alonzo Barnett.
Yeah, they had pretty good coverage on the back end by Troy, but the one you don't account for, Alonzo Barnett, the quarterback, pulling it down, making plays, taking deep drops, following receivers down the field, and all of a sudden he finds the crease. There's success on that play for JMU.
This Troy defense has playmakers at every level, but we get a flag.
False start, offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, second down.
It's Riley Robel, the right guard. How about the entire James Madison offensive line being named to the all-conference team?
Yeah, it's crazy. And Robel, who moved over last year from the defensive line. He was a defensive lineman at this point a year ago, but moved over to the offensive side as a redshirt sophomore and really secured things up front for this JMU offense.
Wayne Knight, the running back, second in the league in rushing yards, north of 1,000. Pocket holds. Barnett takes a shot. A lot of contact. And no flag. Incomplete. Second down and long. Impact players brought to you by Voya.
Yeah, Wayne Knight, who you've talked about, averaging over 6 yards per carry. And then the coaching staff, they believe that Braden Wislowski is going to have a big one in this big game in this one tonight. 2 outstanding superstars. Donnie Smith can get after you in the pass rush, and then Devin Lafayette on the back end. 6'2", 210-pound spear players, what they call him, kind of a hybrid linebacker, defensive back. Just makes plays everywhere.
He has been an agent of chaos. And Wayne Knight does not get far. Stephen Catledge, their big run stopper at middle linebacker, picks him up after just a gain of a yard. It's third down and long.
And Catledge, they call him the thumper. The number 10 junior college recruit, overall junior college recruit a couple years ago, number 2 linebacker, and he's led he just makes plays for this group. 34 tackles coming in to this one.
Barnett, pump fakes, incomplete, so pressure that time by Julian Peterson. And this Troy defense gets James Madison off the field quickly on 4 plays.
That's exactly what they talked to us about, Coach Coach Parker, and getting them off the field, making James Madison one-dimensional. Saying, hey, how do you do that? You can't allow them to run the football as effectively as they have been with Wayne Knight. Getting him behind the chains, forcing him into passing situations, and then getting off the field on third down. That's the recipe defensively for Troy.
Patrick Ray will punt it away. Higgins signals for the fair catch and makes it inside the 30, a 42-yard punt. So both teams punted away on their opening drives. Troy with its second possession on the other side.
champions, man! We sing a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Here's to the school we love, we're chosen one and all.
The Troy locker room.
Nothing like it.
After knocking off Southern Miss on the road last week in a game that decided who would play in this game, there's Jared Parker, second-year head coach. He told us Troy has to shrink this game. Some long possessions, the ability to run the ball. That's not going to work. That goes backwards. It's going to be a loss of 5 yards on the play.
Tyler Brown flying up from his safety spot and making a play behind the chains. Not even allowing Meadows a chance to get going on that play. This is what they do defensively at JMU. You mentioned it. First in the conference in scoring defense, allowing opponents only 16 points a game. First in rushing, only allowing 84 yards a game. They're special.
Quarterback run, and Crowder gets free, picks up a good chunk of it back, plus more. It sets up a 3rd and 2.
A nice gain there. A lot of defenders went with Trey Meadows on the RPO, and then all of a sudden Crowder is on the 2nd, then the 3rd level of the defense with Tyler Brown making a play, who made that last play behind the line of scrimmage. That time he's making it at depth at his safety spot.
One big missing piece on that JMU front to start the game, no Emmanuel Bush.
Yeah.
He left last week's win against Coastal Carolina with an ankle injury. He's a big run stuffer in the middle of that defense.
So is Andrew Taddeo, who's in the game for him.
Crowder is devoured all the way back at the 30. It's a loss of 7 on the play, and it's Michael McMullen coming up with his first sack of the season.
He's in the game for Terry Lockett Jr. right now, and it just continue to get pushed right in the middle. And Troy, when they score first, they've won 19 of their last 22 games, but they've been scoreless in the first quarter in the previous 4. So they've got to overcome something here in this championship game, Sun Belt championship game against JMU.
And a dangerous return man.
What a punt.
In Knight. Fields at the 20. He was first team all-purpose in the Sun Belt, and a 10-yard return to the 30 after a 50-yard punt by Crenshaw. His 21st punt of 50 or more this season.
The college football playoff selection show. The bracket will be filled. Judgment Day is here.
James Madison, 25th in the college football playoff rankings. Their lone loss came on a Friday night at Louisville, week 2. They had the lead midway through the third quarter of that game, but since then they've gone to Alonzo Barnett as their main QB. They have rattled off 10 straight, and in their last 6 games, this is an offense that has put up close to 50 points per game. Now, Bob Chesney, their head coach, he is headed to UCLA, and today Pete Thamel reporting that Billy Napier, formerly the head coach in this league at Louisiana, and of course most recently with Florida, Napier will be the next head coach at James Madison, according to Pete Thamel and other reports.
Good setup here for the next guy coming in. A lot of talent on this team, and imagine, like most places, there'll be some that hightail it out to California, to UCLA with the head coach, Bob Chesney.
Here comes Wayne Knight, second leading rusher in the Sun Belt for a short gain. Now, Chesney told us that if James Madison were to make the college football playoff, he will see the Dukes through their postseason run.
You look at that and him wanting to do it, the administration obviously wanting him to do it, and the team wanting him to stay and see this thing through. Doing it the right way.
And as we learned this week, that is a big part of it, what the locker room wants. On second down, it's Knight again. Jigsaw's out to the 37, a gain of 4. It's third down.
And this is what we're used to seeing, Anish, when you talk about JMU offensively. They stay in third down and short third and medium, and they convert on third down at a 50% conversion rate. So that's outstanding. Every team or every head coach in America would tell you before the season starts, hey, if I gave you 50% on third down, would you take it? Absolutely they would.
Plenty of time for Barnett. Off-balance throw, incomplete for Braden Wisłowski. And a good hold by this Troy defense, which is up to the task early on.
You know, Sanchez can be a contributor in the passing game, along with Landon Ellis, who's banged up. DeGennaro is a guy that can make some plays, and Smoke Collins, who they like on end-around screens, but they can't seem to get him the ball. Both teams being a little bit stingy in the secondary to start this game.
And Andre, you know, playing the position, that's a tough throw for a QB, moving to his left on the run.
And then mix in a little cold with it, and yeah, it gets a little tough.
Fair catch, called for and made by Higgins after a 37-yard kick. AT&T is keeping you connected with our bracket insights. Sign up now at ESPN.com and fill out your own CFP bracket challenge presented by AT&T. Second year of the 12-team playoff. A couple of different wrinkles, though. The 5 highest-ranked conference champions receive automatic bids. It's not the 4 power conferences and then 1 group of 5. It's the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. That's important this year. Then the 7 at-large teams are determined by the remaining highest-ranked teams. Seeding determined by the final college football playoff rankings, which will come out on Sunday. Jordan Lovett in the game at running back. He's a receiving threat. Crowder throws incomplete. Looking for Trey Taylor, who they call 130. He's listed at 140, though, Andre. Yeah. 5'6", 140-pound speedster.
Just sounds better, I guess, from the coaching staff and Sean Reagan if he calls him 130. Make him a little bit smaller, but boy, he can certainly fly. And they love having him in the slot, love trying to get the ball to him in space because he's so quick and so dynamic. They've just got to find a way to get it in his hands.
Goose Crowder 2 for 5. Coaches telling us it's not about completion percentage tonight. If he's around 50 but hits big plays downfield, they'll take it. Lovett gets bottled in the backfield by that #1 run defense, and this is where Troy cannot live tonight, 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're getting tremendous push up the field, and Tyler Brown is already asserting himself from that secondary position along with Zaire West. one of the defensive players, not allowing Troy to out-leverage the defense, keeping everything inside where playmakers can help you out coming from inside out.
West, the freshman of the year in the Sun Belt. James Madison swept every major award. Pressure up the middle. Crowder in traffic, incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. Ra Thomas, the Georgia transfer, the intended target.
He leads the team in yards with about just under 500 yards, but can't really get him the football right now. You see the sticky coverage by Culp on the back end for JMU, and it's kind of been that way for both secondaries. Not a lot of room for these quarterbacks to fit the ball in the passing game.
In an age where quarterbacks are routinely in the 60s and 70s in completion percentage,
Tonight might be a little different.
50% on the season against James Madison. Crenshaw, who's an NFL punter. Another good kick. This one takes a Troy bounce. It's down inside the 30, a 47-yard punt. Still scoreless midway through the opening quarter in this Sun Belt Championship. The fight for the final playoff spots. James Madison out of the Sun Belt. North Texas and Tulane play tonight in the American Conference Championship game. And then you've got 5-loss Duke playing Virginia tomorrow night in Charlotte in the ACC Championship game. If Duke wins, that scenario means you'll have 2 teams from the group of 5 in the college football playoff. Assuming James Madison would win, but the Dukes right now in a scoreless tie with Troy. Barnett throwing underneath. He's got his running back, Wayne Knight, but it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Quarterbacks, a combined 2 for 10. Barnett 0 for 4.
It's just tough in the weather. Tough for receivers. You would think the receivers would have the advantage on a hard, cold field because they know where they're going, but it's been sticky coverage for both teams, and receivers not having a whole lot of room for the quarterbacks to squeeze the ball into.
The big bruising back, Joby Mallory, is in the game, and he sledgehammers to the 31 for a pickup of 4. Mallory has come on down the stretch, 100+ yards in 2 of the last 3 games, including a $154 last weekend at Coastal.
Yeah, he's an excellent blocking back and averages just over 9 yards a carry when they bring him in. I'm going to check him out and put Wayne Knight back in the game, maybe for receiving purposes, but I'll tell you what, Mallory can certainly get it done.
Knight leading the team in receptions.
Man across the board. It may be a blitz here.
Delayed pressure. Shot play for Wisłowski. Cannot hang on. It's incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down. David Daniel Sisvana in coverage.
A 2nd target for Wisłowski. And they told us, Dean Kennedy told us he would be a focal point. Expected him to have a big game in this one. This is just a straight 9 route. Let's see if I can outrun you to a spot and have the quarterback put it there. Well thrown ball by Barnett. Just could not hold on to it. Was Wisłowski.
Neither offense has done much to move the ball.
I mean, that was thrown well over the outside shoulder, away from the defender, exactly where you wanted it.
Ray angles this one. Higgins with a chance at a return. Might have some room and takes it across the 30-yard line, and that's where Troy will begin their 4th drive of this opening quarter.
Some good ones.
How about this? College football championship Saturday lineup on ABC. BYU, Texas Tech at noon. BYU, they were able to keep Kalani Sitake, kept him away from State College. If the Cougars win, they're in. Texas Tech looks to be a lock. Alabama's an interesting case. Obviously in with a win, but are they in with a loss? And for that Big 12 championship game, BYU looking for a little bit of revenge. They lost decidedly to Texas Tech earlier this month, or last month.
There are certain places for certain people, right? And Kalani Sitake is a BYU guy through and through. Never in a million years did I think he was going to leave and go to Penn State. And I think he did the exact right thing, was to stay right there in Provo, where he's comfortable. That's family, that's home. And he gets to lead the program that he once played for. I think it was an outstanding decision.
And he's got some more money and resources to do it. A holding penalty on the return sets Troy back a little bit. Pressure coming off the edge. And the throw is incomplete in the direction of Epps. He and Elijah Culp were tied up.
Culp right there running the route pretty much with him. Late shot on the quarterback. Looks like it was Weathersby who came in a little bit late, but I'm gonna say that's okay. And I tell you what, Goose Crowder, he felt that one.
James Madison tonight had a 4-play drive and then back-to-back 3-and-outs. That's been the story for Troy as well. 4th possession for Troy, still a little less than 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. Been all defense. Crowder hands it off up the middle, and not much room for Tay Meadows, the team's leading rusher, who was brought in as a recruited walk-on, put on scholarship in the spring, then went ham in the season opener, going for 186 against Nichols, and he's worked his way up because of some injuries, a late spring defection to RB1.
He will try defenders, that's for sure. So when you lock it up, you lock horns with Tay Meadows, you better come correct, because that young man will put his helmet right in the middle of your shoulder pads.
Neither team has converted a third down tonight. Both teams 0 for 3. Crowder trying to escape, and he's turned down.
Man, Xavier Holmes hit a switch as he turned the corner on right tackle Trajan Townsend and got right to Goose Crowder in a hurry. I mean, coming from the right side of your screen, he's just going to get by Townsend, number 74, and then he hits a gear where there was nowhere for Goose Crowder to go with the football.
Andre, that's 2 sacks by James Madison. Troy has not been able to run the football. And this is a Duke's defense that looks like it's going to pin its ears back. And Crenshaw with snowballs being thrown at him. And he shanks this one.
I think it affected him.
It hits at the 34. It's down at the 32-yard line. You saw the snowballs were coming at him from behind the end zone. And that punt gives James Madison premium field position.
Yeah, when you have a punt and you back them up, all of a sudden the snowballs come in. There's no doubt. I think this affected him and this punt. Just raining in with snowballs, and you know, this is a NFL grade punter here for Troy, and you just don't see him shank punts like that.
And Jared Parker's upset. Before the game, there was an announcement over the PA that anybody throwing snowballs would be immediately ejected. They had just put that wording up on the big screen as well.
You talk about some excellent field position to start this drive. JMU has it.
There is Mallory, who averages 9 yards a rush, and out to the 26-yard line for a gain of 7. And there were some Troy staffers in that end zone before the game. They were pelted with snowballs, and
guys warming up on that.
We were kind of watching it, and you know, there were some words exchanged, and we watched security really not do much either.
Well, security was ducking themselves because snowballs were coming at them.
There's Mallory again. 240-pound running back. Gives James Madison a red zone chance. Now, this is where Troy's defense has been elite when teams get inside the 20.
Yeah, but they haven't faced what is in front of them tonight in JMU, and that big offensive line can get push. They're going with a bigger back in Mallory, trying to just run behind him and let him do his thing. It's going to be power football from JMU right now to see if Troy can hold up inside the tackles or between the tackles.
Troy crowding the box. Mallory, the 7th-year senior.
Nice tackle by 15. Justin Poe coming up from his free safety spot. He's got Mallory right around the ankles and was able to get him on the ground. It's a heck of a tackle there on first down.
On the season, opponents have scored a touchdown on less than half of their red zone trips against Troy. Wayne Knight back in there. He catches the swing pass and gets clipped. It's a loss back at the 22. Kalino Levine, one of the corners with the tackle in space.
Well, Levine keeping this JMU offense behind the sticks. This is exactly part of the game plan, and it's just sees it and fires from the secondary spot at corner and makes one heck of an open field tackle. Went right around the receiver in that situation and made a heck of a tackle.
Andre, now Troy can unleash. 22 in white, Donnie Smith, the Sun Belt leader in sacks. Smith coming on a twist. Barnett moves the pocket, sets his feet. His pass is tipped into the air and almost intercepted. It's incomplete. TJ Thompson nearly picked it off.
Well, he and Luke Hodge as well, who's going to play a lot in this game. Splits time with Catalage is in there as well, but that's a tough throw. Rolling left, trying to throw back across the middle. I would tell you no, and you're right. It was T.J. Thompson who almost came up with that interception.
Sisvana tipped it. David Daniel Sisvana, the Georgia transfer. And the red zone defense holds for Troy. And a 40-yard field goal attempt for Morgan Suarez.
Just well within his range.
Perfect inside of 44 this year. And that kick puts James Madison on the board. It's the first points of this Sun Belt Championship. It is week 14 of the NFL. We get you set with Sunday Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern. Big rivalry game. Ravens, Steelers. The meaning behind all of Josh Allen's hats. And then it's the Monday Night Football matchup. Eagles and Chargers, 8 Eastern on ABC, plus a special Monsters Fun Day football version on ESPN2 and Disney's networks with an animated game. The Chargers, when Justin Herbert does not start, just 1-4 since 2020, and he is day-to-day after hand surgery on Monday.
He is one tough dude to even think about. Playing after hand surgery is tough. Let's see if he can take a snap from under center. You know how he deals with it, even falling to brace yourself. You can't really do it the normal way after having that type of surgery.
Cristiano Rosa to kick it away. And Troy will begin at the 25-yard line. Kark.
Yeah, we saw Goose Crowder take a shot in that last series, and keep in mind he missed 6 full games due to injury, broke his collarbone in 3 to 4 spots and had a plate and 8 screws. He told me the PT who worked on him said his shoulder was like a box of rocks. He is a tough kid, and since he's been back, this offense has taken another step. And Anish, I know you were curious why they call him Goose. He does love Top Gun, he told me. Planes and jets when he was a kid. Goose was his favorite. He loved Goose's charisma, and he had a great mustache.
It's a great name for a quarterback, Goose Crowder.
His brother Will, so that was the favorite movie of the Crowder brothers, as the speedy and diminutive Taylor takes it out across the 30, and it was his brother Will who gave him the nickname Goose in honor of Top Gun. The other brothers, though, are not nicknamed Iceman and Maverick.
What the team totally believes in that young man, and as you mentioned, returned a few weeks ago from that injury, and he has been as good as advertised.
Troy ahead of the sticks. That's a big play on first down. They have been behind the sticks the last few possessions. James Madison, 2 sacks already. Crowder in trouble, and that throw is brought in, but shy of the line to gain. It's Ethan Connor, the tight end.
Big Ethan Connor at 6'4", 245. He's one of those pass-catching tight ends, athletic, who can be a big-time weapon if this Troy team gets down inside the red zone. Has 3 touchdown catches already this season.
James Madison defensively, #1 in the Sun Belt against the pass, #1 against the run.
Got to pick this up if you're Troy.
Overall, a top 5 defense nationally. Crowder hit again, has a man open, and it's caught. It's Trey Taylor, the one they call 130.
He can absolutely fly, gets behind coverage, and tell you what, Goose Crowder does a nice job of buying time, sliding in the pocket, and was able to reset his feet and go to 130. Was up the sideline and now across midfield. Troy with a nice possession here as we ease towards the second quarter.
Those were the big plays that Troy felt it needed to have a chance against the big bad in the Sun Belt. A James Madison team that went undefeated in conference and have come into this game winners of 10 straight. But Troy hanging after 15 minutes.
Harrisonburg, Virginia, with Troy head coach Jared Parker. And coach, JMU has the best defense statistically in the Sun Belt. What's the best way to attack that unit?
You have to fight fire with fire. We've got to keep getting more aggressive and more aggressive. Guys got to win in friction. It's a man game. We got to fight back and keep on doing what we're starting to do here now.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you.
Clark, thank you. In the quarter break, James Madison's athletic director got on the microphone and asked the fans not to throw snowballs. We're told that the officials can throw a flag for unsportsmanlike against James Madison. Crowder throws that one away. It's second down and 10. Clark, you've been down on the field. You're talking to the officials as well. What did you get from those guys?
Yes, indeed, Anish. If a player from Troy gets hit with a snowball from the stands, they can call an unsportsmanlike if a player gets hit with a snowball.
That's 15 yards, an automatic first down, and you certainly don't want it where Troy is operating right now.
2nd down and 10. Troy in James Madison territory for the first time tonight. Crowder takes a shot downfield. Ra-Ra Thomas makes the catch, and he's down at the 1-yard line. A gain of 37 for Thomas, who's coming off his best game as a Trojan.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Sean Reagan was talking about when he said if Goose Crowder can come in around 50%, they're going to be in the game. They're going to continue to take shots like this. When JMU goes man-to-man, they're going to go up top to Ra-Ra Thompson, Peyton Higgins, and maybe even Trey Taylor, 130. But this is the game plan playing out in real time for Troy.
And to your point, Crowder, 50% completions, but he's hit a couple of big plays on this drive. Out of a heavy set. This is Crowder. He can run for it. He'll try to run for it, and he does. Touchdown, Troy. And the Trojans take the lead in this Sun Belt Championship.
Well, a missed tackle by Thomas of JMU, and it cost the Dukes a touchdown. Had Crowder dead to rights in the backfield, couldn't get him on the ground, and then he just outruns everybody, runs over Jacob Thomas to get himself into the end zone.
Goose went Maverick.
Yeah, Amari Thomas missed as well as Jacob Thomas.
Scott Taylor Renfro puts the PAT through, and it's 7-3. Troy on top. A minute into the 2nd quarter.
Will not quit was Goose Crowder, willing himself into the end zone to take a 7-3 lead.
The AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Monday, January 19th on ESPN.
Outstanding hire, Kevin. Outstanding hire for Penn State.
Took a while to get there.
As long as you get it right.
But they got their guy, Matt Campbell. Jackson McCarter dives across the 25-yard line. We've got a goose. He went Maverick on a touchdown, and then the Iceman, I guess. Snowballs have been a theme early. Fans getting into it before the game while the Troy players were warming up. And at one point, at the start of this quarter, JMU Athletic Director Matt Roan had to address the fans.
The officials and game management will throw a penalty. Please stop throwing snow. Thank you.
Firm with it. I like it.
Listen, you got a couple of teams here that have battled through a lot to get here. There's a lot at stake. You don't want the game to come down to that. Wayne Knight explodes. There he goes. 73 yards. Jambalaya.
Throwing confetti now. Screamers and everything else coming from the stands. What a run by Wayne Knight. They thought they had him bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Even on the second level, I thought Wayne Knight was bottled up. And then all of a sudden, it's a foot race. It's why young running backs, you keep your legs churning. You never know what's going to happen. And Wayne Knight comes out of that thing scot-free for a big-time touchdown run.
James Madison's longest play of the year, and that run gives Wayne Knight the Sun Belt rushing title for the moment.
He only needed, what, 35 yards coming into this thing.
The extra point is good. So we were waiting for this James Madison offense to wake up. They did.
They did, and now the pressure right back on Troy, on the Trojans. They've got to come back, and that's one of the things they talked about in terms of winning the explosives in this game. A couple of big ones there. You had Thomas make a big play for Troy, and then Wayne Knight says, I see you, I'll match you, and I'm going to put this baby in the house. What a run.
Ninth rushing touchdown for Knight. A first-team all-conference running back. And he is now up to 80 yards on 4 carries with 73 coming on that last run.
Kind of felt like they were going to start pounding the football behind that big offensive line of JMU. And Wayne Knight, we saw Mallory, the possession before, have a couple of nice runs, and then that one just managed to break itself free for Wayne Knight.
Rosa with a line drive kick, and it goes out of bounds, and that will give Troy the ball at the 35-yard line.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team number 95. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Troy on its last drive hit a couple of explosive plays. That is their formula tonight.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3. They managed to find 130 down the sideline with his speed, and then they come right back to him on a fade route. Excuse me, Thomas on a fade route that gets him down there, and then it's Crowder. Shakes off Amari Thomas, runs over Jacob Thomas, and gets himself into the end zone. The law firm of Thomas & Thomas couldn't stop Goose Crowder on that last possession.
Crowder 6 out of 12, 86 yards. He's been sacked twice. Troy's given up the most sacks in college football. Crowder pressured again and sacked for the 3rd time. It's the safety Tyler Brown on the blitz.
You got to get rid of the football. You can feel it coming, and they're sprinting you out to an out route or something that's going to the flat. or out and up. Just let it go to the sideline and over the receiver's head and out of bounds. But you can't continue to take those sacks because they wind up hurting you in terms of field position.
Incomplete. Timing a little off, intended for Taylor, who's been the top target tonight.
They had a defensive back sitting in his back pocket. Crowder trying to move him away from him with the football and throw him open, and Taylor just wouldn't move. So now you got 3rd and forever, 3rd and 20. It's almost like it kind of has a CFL feel to it. And you get 2 downs to go 20 yards.
Their big 3rd down guy has been Peyton Higgins all season long.
Oh, yeah, he's been magical.
And he's lined up at the top of the formation. Crowder instead checks down. Ethan Connor makes the catch. That's all. It's 4th and 15. And Crenshaw on to punt yet again.
Yeah, field position yards there to give a talented punter, Crenshaw, more room. He has been a weapon this season.
This will be already the 5th punt of the game for Crenshaw. And you saw what Knight can do in space. He waits to return the kick. Fair catch made inside the 25. Alonzo Barnett and this James Madison offense with the lead and back on home.
father and son that centers around football and love. JMU head coach Bob Chesney has had his father, Bob Sr., with him every step of the way. Bob Sr. started coaching in high school in 1971 at North Schuylkill in Pennsylvania. But when his son became the D3 Salve Regina head coach in 2010, Chesney Sr. followed him and hasn't left his side, with stops at D2 Assumption, FCS Holy Cross, and now JMU. Bob can trust everything with his dad, and Sr. knows his son is a special coach, saying, I probably have a BS in football coaching. Bobby has a triple doctorate because he studies the game constantly. And now Bo Chesney, 11, who's coach's son, is a mainstay on the sideline. 3 generations with a passion for family and football.
It's awesome.
You love to see it.
Awesome.
Wayne Knight, untouched, into the secondary again. Lowers the boom out of bounds to the 45. A gain of 23. He's got 100+ for the 4th time this season.
And he's got a little something extra to say to Levine. Toledo Levine. But this one blocked well. Good, nice edge blocks, giving leverage to Wayne Knight. And we know the speed in which he possesses and can hit home runs for this JMU offense. Just like that, Anise, they changed field position.
His last 2 runs have gone for a total of 96 yards. This time gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage by Luke Hodge.
Hodge plays a bunch. 36 tackles coming in as the backup to Catledge and Jordan Stringer.
They'll play Catledge in more running downs. They'll bring in Hodge if they think it's a passing down. Joby Mallory in the game at running back goes wide to the bottom of your screen. Barnett just 1 of 7 passing for -6 yards. That one through the hands of his tight end Dupree. Make it 1 of 8 for the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year.
They're going to have to help him out, because sooner or later what Troy will start doing is bringing an extra defender to the line of scrimmage to help with his running game, or get a handle on what JMU's doing in the running game. So you're going to need something in the passing game to just loosen up this defense, where you can go back and doing what you like to do, and that's running it.
First charge timeout, Troy.
Troy takes a timeout with 10:45 to go in the half. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 for James Madison, and given how good the Duke's offense has been this year, from this spot on the field, this 3rd down play gets you across midfield, you might have 2 plays.
Yeah, I mean, when you start talking about getting it to 4th down and in short, 4th and medium or so, definitely. And they are not afraid to do it. They do it at about a 40% clip on the year. That's 12th best in the Sun Belt. But not afraid to do it is Coach Chesney.
Our crew had James Madison in their week 2 loss against Louisville, and they were rotating Alonzo Barnett and Matthew Sluka. It didn't work in that game. Barnett, since that game, has been the guy, but it was really about mid-season, the old Dominion game, where they let him loose, and they really encouraged him to be the dual threat guy they know he is, and that's when this James Madison team took off. Troy showing blitz. Here they come. Barnett on the shallow cross, able to complete. He's got Sanchez. He gets to midfield. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5. Let's see what the offense does. It looks like
right now, for now, they're leaving him out there.
Six of 15 on 4th downs this season.
Huge down here for Troy. Got to get off the field, get some great field position if they're able to do it.
Would just be a hard count. The play clock at 2, at 1, and James Madison will take the delay. It gives the punter more room.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Every situation like that, keep an eye on number 22 in the white jersey. Donnie Smith, excellent pass rusher who we've been talking about all night. He is a problem out on the edges for JMU.
Patrick Ray on to punt, the Louisiana Tech transfer. And Peyton Higgins, the deep man. Fair catch is made at the 15. Troy with the football, down 3. Had a chance to take the lead. 9:44 to go, second quarter.
Let's take a look at the dominance that has been JMU on defense and getting after the quarterback. Just constant harassment of Goose Crowder, Xavier Holmes, along with Tyler Brown and Zaire West. Guys just getting in the face or chasing down the quarterback from Troy down after down. Gonna have to find a way to give Goose Crowder just a little bit more time.
That also starts with running the football. Troy has not done that tonight. When you factor in the sacks, minus 11 rushing yards. That's an extension of the run game, the screen game to Ra-Ra Thomas for a yard, maybe 2. It brings up second down.
Yeah, they would really like to get he and Higgins, Peyton Higgins going. 2 guys on the outside, and then you take that defense and you start to spread it out. Now you're able to get Tay Meadows going up the middle. A guy like Jordan Lovett, another back, that we haven't seen in this one, or much of. He's in the game now.
Lovett gives you the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He goes wide. Quarterback draw. James Madison blows up the play. It's the freshman of the year in the Sun Belt, Zaire West.
Team's best defensive lineman, a good-looking young player who started every single game this season. And boy, they just cannot get a hand on him. Matt Henry just swung and missed and all of a sudden West is in on the quarterback, Goose Crowder.
Troy has run 24 plays. JMU has 7 TFLs. On 3rd and long, that one's broken up. Who else?
Yes,
Tyler Brown, who has been the defensive star tonight.
Played last year as a true freshman and has started himself every game this season. So you talk about some durability, guys that are playmakers on this side of the ball for JMU. West, along with Tyler Brown, have done some magical things here early. 6 punts by Troy already, only 3 first downs.
And James Madison might be looking at a short field. Evan Crenshaw, the special teams player of the year in the Sun Belt, gets this one away. It takes a James Madison bounce, and the Dukes will begin in plus territory. Just a 29-yard kick from one of the best in the country, and Crenshaw is a finalist for the Ray Guy Award as we look at our college football award spotlight, brought to you by the Home Depot. That goes to the best punter in the country. And remember to tune in for the Home Depot College Football Award Show Friday, December 12th at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Well, he's had some year, and that guy right there responsible for a lot of field position changes in terms of punting Troy out of trouble, turning and flipping the field at times this year. Don't make any mistake. He is partly responsible for them being here tonight. He's done his part.
Handoff to Wayne Knight. No gain on the play. 2nd down. Not much through the air for James Madison tonight. Alonzo Barnett only 2 for 9, minus 2 yards passing, but Knight ripped off a 73-yard run. He also has a 23-yard run.
The way he's going, along with Mallory when he came in the game, why would you throw him? Just get behind that big offensive line and maybe give Alonzo Barnett some runs, some QB runs, but don't know that you throw it much if you're moving reestablishing the line of scrimmage.
It's Knight out of the backfield. Makes the first man miss. So slithery in space to the 26. A gain of 18 for Wayne Knight.
Boy, and I mean, friendly fire. Looked as though Vana, he caught Devin Lafayette, and Lafayette, I think, may have to go out of the game for a play or two. Just kind of caught him as he's trying to track down Wayne Knight. His helmet makes contact with his own defender. He'll try to tough it out and stay in.
Off play action. Barnett to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by Braden Wisłowski.
Dean Kennedy, a man of his word, told us that Braden Wisłowski would play a big role in this game. This is a game set up for him. And what a throw by Alonzo Barnett. Hadn't completed a lot of them here early in the first half, but that one is spot on and on the money to his wideout, Wisłowski. Just drops that baby right in. It gains control. Got an entire lower half of his leg down inbounds. It's just one heck of a play.
The extra point is good, and James Madison with a 17-7 lead.
You'll see Wisłowski just go right up the seam and then run a kind of an abbreviated post route, but the throw is what does it. It's right on the money, allowing him a chance to climb the ladder and make a play.
And Andre, the ability to get the foot down, inbounds, survive the ground, and secure the ball.
Yeah, with Justin Poe hanging all over him, that's one heck of a play.
Dean Kennedy, as you said, the OC, told us that's a guy who could have a special night. Former Maryland Terp. He's got a touchdown, and it's a 2-score game.
Tried to go to him earlier down the sideline. It was just overthrown by about half a yard. And then comes right back to him, and he makes up for it.
Sunday, it is the exclusive reveal of the final college football playoff top 25 rankings in a 3-hour special. Plus, we will unveil the bracket for the 12th team playoff. Again, top 5 conference champions that are the highest ranked in the college football playoff rankings, automatic berth in the playoff, and then it's the 7 highest ranked at-large teams. That's what the bracket looks like if the playoffs were to begin today. You see 11 and 12, that is still very much up in the air. You got Tulane and North Texas. That game over on ABC. Crowder out of the backfield is hit hard by Thomas. He gets out to the 30, second down.
He is taking some shots, and that must be part of the game plan for JMU, is to get hits on the quarterback. They know that Goose Crowder went out with a collarbone injury for a couple of weeks. They are certainly putting pads on him.
Go back to Crowder looking for room. I'll make that Meadows. That's Tay Meadows. It's a gain of 3.
Meadows did a nice job on the previous play of making a JMU defender miss, and therefore they are just a small gain to get this to 3rd and short. But they need to start converting some of these and keep themselves on the field.
And you're still in that stage. Obviously, early in the game,
still staying within the game.
Still on the table.
Yeah.
They talked about a couple of long drives to shorten this game, make it a 4-quarter game. It's Lovett. It's a yard. That's Ethan Connor, excuse me, the tight end.
Handed off to the tight end.
Back.
And he's just short.
What do you make of this? Is this a hard count, or is this a gambit?
This is tough, because I know they want to possess and keep this drive going, but if you don't get it, you're essentially awarding points to JMU. They'll give this a nice bark at the line of scrimmage under center, and then punt it away if you don't get them to jump.
A little bit of a gadget play, back shoulder in, complete, but a flag.
Should be one.
Culp and Ra-Ra Thomas.
Culp grabbed a handful of jersey of Ra-Ra Thomas, and I'm not sure that was the play call, because it looked like Crowder just kind of bobbled the snap, and he was able to regain it, and he said, hey, Ra-Ra, go make a play for me.
A gutsy call when it's 4th and less than a yard. They went one-on-one to their most skilled wide receiver.
We got a handful of jersey there by Elijah Culp on an automatic 1st down.
Look, Crowder's got trouble with the snap almost.
Oh, yeah, he almost lost it.
It was almost a broken play.
Almost lost it. I think he just raised up and threw that baby to try to get something out of the play.
Pistol formation with wing backs. Crowder fires a strike over the middle to DJ Epps, who leads the team in catches.
40 to be exact, and he is a threat on the outside, guy that can really run, and we like him a lot. 5 touchdown receptions on the year. Lovett has checked himself into the game now at running back.
Crowder eluding the pursuit. His receiver fell down. It's incomplete, intended for Epps.
It's Epps, and the only guy standing to that side was Jacob Thomas, who ball looked like it was being thrown more to Thomas than it did to Epps because of the slip.
The pressure from James Madison tonight has been constant.
There's nothing that's been easy for Goose Crowder. He is under tremendous duress. Guys coming from everywhere.
It's a Troy team that had a dress rehearsal for this game just last week. They played Southern Miss on the road, with the winner of that game punching a ticket to this game. Dukes showing pressure. They bring pressure, and that ball's tipped, and it's incomplete. Third down.
Jacob Thomas again, I think, got a hand on the football. They go all out blitz trying to invite him up the field, and Michael McMullen along with Jacob Thomas coming through, and the next best thing to getting there is just to stop and put your hands up, and it's exactly what they were able to do, get a batted football and bring up third down and long, which is advantage defense in East because you can do so much.
James Madison has 3 sacks tonight. Troy's given up the most sacks in college football. Time for Crowder, and he finds Epps, and that's going to be a first down for Troy.
What I like is that Epps ran the route to the depth of the first down marker, which means when he caught it, he'd already secured the first down with the catch rather than having to make a move and still go get it. So nice job of running the route to the depth of the sticks, catches it, and moves the chains for this Troy offense. And a nice response to that last drive that JMU had.
Tay Meadows is the running back. Troy still in the red when it comes to the ground game.
Well, Meadows looked like he bobbled that one.
Ends up only a gain of a yard. Troy at -9 rushing yards. Meadows, 4 carries, 6 yards. He's their leading rusher.
Looked like he bobbled that one going as he approached the line of scrimmage and got lucky.
Crowder with time. And that is hauled in. It's going to be first and goal. Ethan Connor with another big play on this drive, a gain of 14.
Boy, what a block by Tay Meadows. He's just gonna stymie one of the JMU defenders right in the hole. They blitz, and it's Spingardi who he stops.
On the fly sweep, Ra Thomas breaks the tackle.
Nice.
And drilled out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. Tyler Brown and the defensive player of the year in the Sun Belt, Trent Hendrick, meeting Thomas.
This has been a nice drive in terms of getting the ball in just pretty much everybody's hands. Meadows touch it. You had Connor touch it. DJ Epps, Ra Thomas. You don't know where it's coming from. And a nice job by Sean Reagan, the offensive coordinator, of just kind of mixing up the looks and play calls for Troy.
3 tight ends in the game for Troy. Handoff is to Meadows. He's in. Touchdown, Troy. The Trojans not going away.
A couple of snowballs still being fired in there. And Troy right there refusing to go away. This is what a championship game is supposed to look like. A little back and forth action between two teams. Nice job there, pulling Connor around to lead him through, and essentially untouched through the hole was Tay Meadows.
Renfro's kick is good. There is a flag at the end of the play.
Not sure what this is all about.
I wonder, could this be a snowball flag?
Holding. Defense number 33. The penalties decline. The try for point is good. Timeout.
On that drive, Troy 75 yards in 11 plays. They only had 64 yards of offense prior to that drive. Kevin? All right, Kevin, you know what's funny? All week long, there was this assumption, hey, James Madison, if they win, what needs to happen? What if Troy wins? And if Troy wins, and let's say Duke wins the ACC championship, you're going to have the American champion in. Would Duke be the last team in? Would it be maybe a UNLV if they win the Mountain West tonight?
What? Or one of those, one of the obvious winner of the American championship game would go in.
But you need that second team,
You
right?
need a second team.
I think that would add a lot of mystery as we get a kick out of bounds.
Kicking team number 32, by rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
You look at the playoff predictor, and they don't really give Duke much of a chance, even with a win in any scenario. So, you know, that might create an opportunity for a team that has not been talked about. But for James Madison, we put the odds at the start of the broadcast in case you missed it. If the Dukes win, 55%. If they win and Duke wins the ACC championship, James Madison, 99.99% a virtual lock.
Fun to see it. Now they've got a feisty bunch in front of them that just won't go away.
Wayne Knight searching for room on the perimeter. He can't get the edge.
That's great defense by the guys in the white jersey, just continuing to string Wayne Knight out wide, not giving up leverage.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
And not giving him a chance or a place in which to turn up the field.
Troy's defense has more than held its own tonight. championship. A bit of a slow start in this game. Now 17-14, James Madison with the ball. Dukes also get the ball first to begin the second half. Big possession here. Dukes have all 3 timeouts. On second down, underneath route. And that's Jalen Sanchez out across to the 41-yard line, a gain of 7.
I'm Troy. I'm okay with that and keeping things in front of me. And just don't allow Wayne Knight to start running free again in your secondary. So if you have to, put another guy in the box to help out in the running game, lock up man-to-man, but you got to get some pressure on Alonzo Barnett when he throws the football.
James Madison taking its time. Barnett saw the blitz. It's dropped by Sanchez. Barnett's receivers have not helped him tonight. That's 3 drops.
3 drops, and that's a tough catch when it's thrown behind you for timing, and going to force the Dukes to punt it away again. And what Troy's done is give themselves an opportunity to maybe steal a possession here, maybe go tie this thing up at the least. That's what you're looking for with 1:21 left, 2 timeouts. The field position that they're going to get, you're thinking field goal to go into halftime, with JMU getting it, as you mentioned, in the second half.
Troy told us over and over again, if they can make this a 4-quarter game. Halfway there.
Want to be around for the finish.
Good kick by Ray. Higgins lets this bounce. We get a flag. That might be kick-catch interference.
Definitely is.
You got to give the return man 1 yard directly in front.
It's going to be Trey Leonard with a flag here.
Kick-catch interference. Kicking team number 29. 15-yard penalty for the spotlight foul. First down.
1:10 on the clock. 2 timeouts. Troy might have a shot at a field goal.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Yeah, they may be in a situation with this penalty for the big points. It's a nice job there. That's a veteran move. He kind of taps Willis. Peyton Higgins kind of tapping to make sure the official saw how close Willis was. Watch this tap by the senior Peyton Higgins, the punt returner. He's going to kind of reach over, tap him to let the official know, hey, he is close to me. And they indeed award Higgins with a flag.
Quick screen on first down. Going nowhere.
Elijah Cope, hello.
Trey Taylor devoured.
That's the second play they've tried to run. A second time they've tried to run a tunnel screen on Elijah Cope, and he has come up in a big, big way.
James Madison just called a timeout. That puts you in the head of Bob Chesney and how they're approaching this last minute.
They're trying to double dip. They're trying to save some time for their offense to maybe go down and put a field goal up and then come back and score again after halftime.
So if you're Troy now, you're down 3. The last thing you want to do is give James Madison the ball back. They still have 2 timeouts. The Dukes do. 2nd and 12. Are you calling a couple of run plays here, make them use their timeout, and then rely on your player of the year punter to pin them deep?
I may go to a draw play here, see if I can catch JMU aggressively trying to get up the field and then slip a run right underneath with a draw play to kind of get this drive started, so to speak, for Troy, being behind the sticks after first down.
I wonder how aggressive Troy plays this. They will throw. Through the hands of Higgins, and that's basically a free timeout for James Madison. It's 3rd down and 12. 1:01 on the clock. Now what?
Now I'm going to definitely hand it off to try to force that second timeout by JMU. But you usually don't see that by Peyton Higgins. That ball went right through his hands. He's usually as sure-handed a receiver as there is anywhere.
Last week he had 6 catches, 5 for first downs. I'll take a shot. Incomplete for Ra Thomas.
Wow.
But it draws another flag on Culp.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Boy, that was, I don't know, that's close. Looked like pretty good coverage unless there was something early. Look, two guys arm fighting. He got a little bit of jersey there.
So that's twice they've gotten called. One was on the 4th down play on the previous drive.
Yeah, you can clearly see it. That last look was excellent, and it gives an automatic first down to Troy. 56 seconds still. They have the 2 timeouts. Now it's time to go get it.
Now you're in plus territory. Pressure up the middle, incomplete for the tight end, Ethan Connor. 2nd and 10, clock at 52. 2 timeouts remain.
Another ball that should have been caught. You talked about Alonzo Barnett and his receiving core dropping passes are starting to happen for Troy as well. And it's not an easy thing to do in the conditions that they're playing in because the ball is so hard, but you got to make those catches. It's not easy, but it's part of your job description.
Clean pocket. Incomplete, broken up by Barksdale. He wanted Epps.
Barksdale's so good. Not the biggest guy, but as I mentioned earlier, they are not afraid to lock him up against the other team's top receiver. Epps had gone crazy earlier in this game, and now Barksdale finds Epps, makes a nice play there. He's excellent in man-to-man coverage.
And a flag at the end of the play.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 0. 15-yard penalty, the down counts, 3rd down.
Roman Mothershed, and that's just a penalty you can't take at this point.
You cannot. It's huge. It's the sophomore receiver.
That's the headbutt right there on number 30, Justin Eaglin. 3rd and long. Troy needs to get to the James Madison 38. Crowder hit, flag down. Crowder sacked for the 4th time. That's Sayer West. Let's see if it stands. Flag is in the backfield.
They may have a bigger problem with Troy. Eli Russ.
Offense number 66. The penalties decline. 4th down.
Not only does he get the penalty called on him that's declined, now he's down with what looks like a knee injury, which is where he grabbed for and was rolling on the ground in some pain. So you talked a great description about the tackle situation for Troy. Now they thought they had it remedied. Eli Russ now down, who's playing left tackle tonight for Troy.
And he's their best offensive lineman, 2nd team all-conference. Troy already lost both starting tackles for the season. Russ, they had to move to the outside from guard to tackle, so Caleb Ash, who splits time at right tackle with Townsend, will likely go to left tackle. And this offensive line all season long, they've dealt with injuries. They've had to shuffle the unit. They kind of felt a couple of weeks ago they had the 5 that gave them the best chance. Maybe it's not the ideal 5, but it's the 5 that they thought would make this team and this offense the most competitive. Russ is a huge part of that, and this would be a significant loss, especially against a James Madison defense that's got 4 sacks.
We hate to see this with anyone. This is the part of the game that just is just horrible.
Eli Russ last year was the starting center. Started at left guard most of the season, then 2 weeks ago was moved over to left tackle. And you can see he can't put weight on that foot.
Yeah, he is a senior, transferred from Oklahoma State. You just hate to see this. If this is his last game, you don't want him going out that way. He's got one more with a bowl game after this one. 5 different offensive line configurations this season for Troy.
Now Crenshaw on to punt with 42 seconds.
James Madison, 30 seconds.
James Madison calls a timeout. 1 left. 42 seconds remaining, and this is a Duke's offense that over the last 6 games put up just some absurd numbers. They averaged close to 50 points per game in that span. 4 times they went over 50.
Both teams, I think, came in and he's playing some pretty good football. Troy's offense, they've been firing on all cylinders the last 2 games themselves, averaging 425 yards of total offense, 328 through the air, and 20.5 first downs. They need that version of the offense to show up in the second half.
Seventh punt of the night for Crenshaw. Wayne Knight with a fair catch at the 30. James Madison has had success with a couple of big runs, but through the air, a lot of drops tonight.
Yeah, accurate with the football has been Alonzo Barnett, but Wazlowski there the play before. Wayne Knight, the tight end, Dupree. And then along the sideline, Jalen Sanchez can't reel it in. They're going to have to help their quarterback to get some a little more room here in terms of a lead that where they feel a little more comfortable. Right now it's too close for comfort for JMU.
Barnett's been better after a tough start.
He started 1 of 8. Now he's 4 of his last 5 with a touchdown throw to Wazlowski.
Out of an empty set, a 3-man rush. That's going to be complete. It's enough for a first down. It momentarily stops the clock with 29 seconds. Caught by Nick DeGennaro. Dukes have 1 timeout. Here comes the blitz. Barnett over the middle, threw it behind Wazlowski. He was open, a good throw. He might be running. Logan Kyle, excuse me. That was the tight end.
Big guy they like to throw to over the middle, and he puts that one out in front. He's so big, he may bounce off a couple of defenders before they're able to get him down, but incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10. Wazlowski in the slot, down closer to the right tackle. Another drop.
That's another drop. That's Kyle. Jordan Stringer, the team's leading tackler, in coverage, a first-team All-Sun Belt selection, 7 and white.
What a name, Stringer. It's perfect for a linebacker, and he just looks up. Logan Kyle for the 2nd play in a row. The big fella puts one on the turf.
You wonder if Kyle caught him out of the corner of Kyle's eye.
I think he did.
Wazlowski motions into the slot at the top of the formation. James Madison 50% on 3rd downs this season, but over in the opening half. Barnett ducking and finally sacked.
I think he almost lost a football there a couple of times and was able to get back on it. Or
guess who gets home? It's Donnie Smith, his 10th sack of the season, and that takes us to halftime.
Barnett, clean pocket, and it just gets pushed, and he somehow drops the ball, almost drops it a 2nd time, which would have been a nightmare. A lot of white jerseys around there, around the football, but able to secure it and get them to halftime with a 3-point lead.
There's a lot of people who thought this would just be a James Madison coronation.
It's not.
Troy says not so fast. Kevin Booger. Welcome back to the Sun Belt Championship, all a part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. James Madison clinging to a 3-point lead at halftime. Again, the stakes for James Madison if the Dukes win, and then the Duke Blue Devils win the ACC Championship. James Madison becomes a virtual lock for the 12th-team college football playoff. And Schroff, Andre Ware, you look at the first half, James Madison literally has dropped the ball.
Yeah, they have. I mean, too many drops by the receivers for Alonzo Barnett, 4 in that first half alone. So they've got to tighten that up so that they move the ball with some consistency.
First half stats brought to you by Viore. Troy has not been able to run the ball at all. They've been sacked 4 times. Neither team has done well on third down, but the Trojans on a gutsy 4th down call, bailed out by a pass interference penalty. Another drive extended on a pass interference penalty. They're finding ways to hang around, and they used the boxing analogy. They want to make this a 12-15 round fight. Make it a 4-quarter game, put the pressure on James Madison. They're halfway there. The Dukes will receive to begin this third quarter.
Yeah, to your point, Anish, you know, you look at it, 17-7, game could have gotten out of hand, but Troy drove and scored and made it a game for the second half.
Let's check in with Paul Carcaterra.
Well, gentlemen, just caught up with Bob Chesney, coach at JMU. He said he loves his run game with Wayne Knight. They were able to establish that in the first half. The drops are driving him crazy, though. 4 on the afternoon. He feels Alonzo Barnett needs more support from his wide receivers. The pressure defensively has been on point, and they're going to cover the perimeter one-on-one and really contest Troy. JMU is a fantastic second half team, though. They're outscoring opponents 247-59.
Wow.
And in the last 2 weeks, it's 55-3. Barnett on the zone read rips off an 11-yard run for a first down. Justin Poe, the safety, finally brought him down.
That's one of those just in case you forgot kind of plays. Hey, we're still here. We still have the capability to make you play 11 on 11. So if you want to, you know, commit everybody to stopping Wayne Knight, just remember Barnett is still back here in the backfield.
He ran for 16 on the first play from scrimmage for James Madison. Barnett again. Out to the 40-yard line. Last year in a win against North Carolina, Barnett led James Madison to a 70-point outburst. He had 7 total touchdowns in the win at Chapel Hill this season. True dual threat. Took him a little while to unlock the running game. He was coming off an ACL, but about midway through the season, he showcased that dual threat ability in back-to-back games at one point. He had a 4-touchdown game on the ground and a 4-touchdown game through the air. This is Wayne Knight. Ran for 100+ in the opening half, picks up 6, and the playbook is open on 3rd and 1.
Boy, Justin Poe has made two tackles on this drive alone. And what it does is when you get players flying down from their safety spots, which is where Poe plays, now all of a sudden play action. You show it, maybe take a step into the line of scrimmage. Here comes Poe, and then back out and launch one. And look for James Madison at some point to show the play action to Justin Poe, and then try to go over his head.
James Madison, one of the best 3rd down teams in the country, 0 for 7 tonight. And that is their first 3rd down conversion. It's Wayne Knight on the ground, up to 114 rushing yards.
To your point, 11th in the country. They lead the Sun Belt at 50% on 3rd down. That's going to win you a lot of games, as it did with JMU this year, having the 11 win total.
Wayne Knight.
Direct snap to Wayne Knight.
Number 3, Wayne Knight, the ball carrier.
Barnett to the side of him. They go to Wayne Knight with it. Now just kind of they're starting to get creative back there, but relying here on this big offensive line to move and pave the way for Wayne Knight and Alonzo Barnett.
They have run it on every play this drive, and they have brought in a 6th offensive lineman.
Barnett will throw. Under duress and sacked all the way back at his own 44-yard line by Elijah Davis, the former South Carolina Gamecock.
Anchor of this defense. He's long, he's athletic, a solid player opposite Williams and Donnie Smith on the other side, and Elijah Davis is able to get home for his 3rd sack of the season.
What does Dante Wright, the D coordinator for Troy, dial up on 3rd and long?
Certainly not going to let Barnett sit in the pocket. Got to bring some pressure, force it out of his hand pretty quickly here.
He's got Donnie Smith, 22 and white, who leads the Sun Belt in sacks. Barnett is hit, and Troy gets home. Back-to-back sacks, and this Troy defense makes a big statement to begin this 3rd quarter. Jamel fills a me. They told us he's twitchy. You don't say that about a 340-pound D tackle.
Yeah, the scouts come in and they're like, wait a minute, who is this guy at 6'3", 345 pounds with this type of movement? And that's only gonna, raise the curiosity of scouts coming into Troy trying to find out about number 98.
He goes about 19 miles per hour when they measure it on the GPS. Ray gets the kick away. Higgins makes the catch inside his own 30, and Pretzel down right there at the 30. A 34-yard punt. Troy's defense keeps giving this offense a chance. Jamel fills a me. The big guy, he's got some dance moves.
Like the dance moves.
The Troy Trojans are the first team with multiple rushing touchdowns and negative rushing yards in any half since Miami back in September of 2022. The Canes, by the way, lost that game to Middle Tennessee.
And Troy with the football from their own 30, down by 3. It's a Troy team that had to win a week ago at Southern Miss just to get to this point.
Troy doesn't care about all of that, man. They're in the ball game, down by 3. Hey, we'll take being right here.
They've got a new left tackle in Caleb Ash with Russ out. Crowder has an open receiver. We got a flag at the tail end of the play. Epps makes the catch.
A push off on Epps.
On Troy.
Pass interference, offense number 18, 15-yard penalty, first down.
A little push off by Epps to get himself open.
Just caught up with Jared Parker, head coach of Troy. He told me he knew it would be hard to run the ball coming into tonight. It's going to be even harder because left tackle Eli Russ is done for the evening. He also said they have to run the ball enough just to keep JMU honest, because he feels like the way to win this game is to hit shots on the perimeter defensively. He said they've been fighting, crawling, scratching. Said you take 3 plays away from that first half of JMU. He thought they played near perfect defensively outside those 3 spots.
This is not where they want to be, though. First down and 25. Got a new left tackle in there. There's a shot play. Crowder and Ra Thomas holds it in. He and Culp have been battling all evening. Thomas wins the matchup. 43 on the play. Another explosive.
Yeah, right over the head of Elijah Culp, who has pretty good coverage, just has a knack for grabbing. And even with the hands on Ra Thomas, he's able to come up with a big play, get Troy out of trouble.
Through the hands of Ra Thomas. Eaglin in coverage that time. Thomas, 3 catches, 82 yards.
Ra Thomas wanted a holding call, kind of reached for his jersey. He's saying that Eaglin grabbed a handful of jersey. That got him out of harm's way. Big play by Thomas, and he got more than enough room to breathe right here. Now you want to cash it in. At the very least, this drive, you want to come away tied in this ball game.
And from this area, they might have 4 downs to work with. Higgins, nowhere to go. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 10. The run game has not been there. Outside of one 13-yard run by Goose Crowder, Troy does not have a run of more than 3 yards.
And Meadows has struggled running the football for Troy. They haven't been able to do it with Jordan Lovett, and it's because of what's going on up front. They are being dominated at the line of scrimmage, but pass protecting well enough to where Crowder's got enough time to push the ball down the field.
4-man rush. Crowder in trouble, trying to avoid his 5th sack. Throws downfield off the hands of his target, DJ Epps, 4th down.
I thought maybe Crowder someone had a handful of face mask as he's trying to escape the pocket. And this is a touch throw that Epps absolutely should have caught. It's right in his hands. It's his hands. Touch pass is not drilled. Got to have that one.
Evan Crenshaw to punt it away. He's been a busy man. That will be downed at the 17-yard line. Only a 25-yard punt. James Madison gets it back. 3-point game in Harrisonburg.
together at the mountaintop, champions of college football.
It's almost playoff season, and we look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by AT&T. That's the playoff bracket based on the current rankings. Top 5 highest ranked conference champions all get in. The rankings then determine the rest of the at-large field. You get the sense the American champion, Tulane or North Texas, will have a shot. James Madison with a win, certainly in the conversation. And then what happens in the ACC championship? If Duke beats Virginia, that opens the door for 2 Group of 5 conference champions to get in. Duke is currently a 5-loss team. If Virginia gets in, they'll be the representative out of the ACC as a conference champion. Wayne Knight with a run of 8 yards on first down. He's had a big game. 12 carries, 124, including a 73-yard touchdown.
He had the 73-yard touchdown right between, on the right side of the offensive line. Every big run since then has been out the door to the left on the outside edges, and they're losing leverage on that side. Got to do a little bit better job on that side if you're Troy.
Cisvana, the safety, cheating up into the box. Knight, for the first down run, gets the edge, pulled down by Poe, the safety. Kark.
Only 5'7" is Wayne Knight, but he told me he uses a low center of gravity to his advantage, and he's also jacked. When he got to JMU, he was only bench pressing 225 8 to 10 times. Now he's in the 20 range, 8% body fat. He's very serious about his diet, he told me, but his cheat food, and you can't blame him, honey buns.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Especially on a 30-degree night.
Man, hit that baby in the microwave for about 10 seconds.
Incomplete on the RPO to Wisłowski.
And this is where Troy defensively got to stiffen up. You're playing the field position battle in a close game on the road. You can't afford to give up first downs and field position and then find yourself, even if you find a way to stop JMU, backed up where you can't make a mistake.
Landon Ellis, the motion man, sets up camp in the slot. Motions again. Barnett keeps it. Gashing through the middle for a gain of about 9. Brings up 3rd down and 1. Luke Hodge with the tackle.
Nice job there by Hodge of kind of sorting things out and backtracking to get to Barnett. But again, 3rd down and short. This is where James Madison lived most of the season. And the big boy's in. The big back is in there.
They give it to Joby Mallory. All 238 pounds. He's got a first down. And you wonder, as this game wears on, does James Madison lean on that offensive line, which features 5 all-conference performers?
I think so. It's not how you win. It's just winning for James Madison. And that group up front has served its purpose all season long. They're going to look to rely on it, or that group again tonight. And I think the second half, it's exactly what you're going to get between Knight and Mallory.
Duke's up to 180 rushing yards. Quick throw, another drop.
Sanchez, couple of drops tonight. Logan Kyle, couple of drops tonight. Just continuously putting it on the ground or on the turf.
What does that do to a quarterback, Andre?
Well, it gets you a little frustrated, and then at some point, I'd imagine Barnett's going to have a talk along the sideline with that group. Because he's been on the money with it. It's just gone on the turf.
Five drops for James Madison. Wayne Knight runs into a roadblock. It's 3rd down and 10, and give this Troy defense a lot of credit tonight. They have held James Madison in check, and they make big plays time after time.
Right into Donnie Smith, who's kind of blew that baby up, and a couple of other Troy Trojan Stringer in there to help him out. JMU, to your point, second half play selection. They've had 12 runs, only 2 passes thrown.
Got to watch out for Donnie Smith. He's got a sack today, 10 to lead the Sun Belt on the season. Coming from the backside, he hits Barnett. It's picked off by Troy. Jaquez White with the INT, his 3rd of the season. He didn't get a sack, but he impacted the passer, and Troy gets a massive takeaway.
Yeah, we thought that Joseph Simmons, the left tackle for JMU, was going to have his hands full with Donnie Smith tonight. That's exactly what's happened. A quick twitch player off the edge is able to get there and get to the arm of Barnett. Goes up into the air and is picked off. And Troy with some great field position in which to, at the very least, maybe tie this game up.
Troy has converted 10 of its last 15 takeaways into points.
He can add some weight, Anish. He's only 220 at 6'4". He gets somewhere around 250, and you're talking about a Sunday player.
Yeah. He had 2 sacks last week against Southern Miss and helped force a turnover. Troy now can tie it with a field goal, can take the lead with a touchdown. Out of a heavy set. Fake flea flicker. They told us they would try that, but James Madison is all over it. They saw the Bears run that play against the Raiders.
That was Swift. Swift faking it back to Caleb Williams, and then Swift went on a nice run. This is obviously it, but they did not get one of the players, Weathersby, to bite. He stayed at home, read things out right, and was right there waiting to make the tackle.
On 2nd down, here comes the blitz. Crowder lit up, incomplete, 3rd down. I know it's 3rd down, but to go back to that fake flea flicker off the turnover, I know that's when you like to call those plays.
Yeah, right after the turnover, you got great field position in which to execute it. That's almost like taking a shot, but through the run game, because it is somewhat of a trick play. Hidden there, and then they come back, throw the incompletion to Ethan Connor, and now faced with 3rd and 10. A major hurdle to overcome here against a good, sound defensive JMU.
Can this bandaged offensive line hold up?
Watch for Peyton Higgins, number 2 in the slot at the top.
Blitz coming. Crowder down the sideline, back shoulder, incomplete, 4th down.
Going to go to Ra Thomas, who's on the outside of Higgins. Colpson, pretty good, pretty defended that one well.
That's the matchup that they're coming after.
Yeah,
I've seen it a few times tonight, Andre.
Another drop. That should have been a catch.
They need a big play. It's Thomas matched up on Culp. And now a field goal to tie by Scott Taylor Renfro from 46. Season-long 47. Career-long 50. That's no good. And the score remains 17-14. Troy gets the turnover. Got premium field position, but can't capitalize.
UFC 323 is tomorrow night in Vegas with a stacked card highlighted by 2 title fights with belts on the line. Watch out for the Machine, Merab Dvalishvili. In the bantamweight bout, the champ has a motor that will not stop. Prelims at 8 Eastern, the main card at 10 on pay-per-view. Buy it at ESPNplus.com/PPV.
If you got a nickname, the Machine, you're a bad dude. You got to be a bad dude.
Bad intentions. Wayne Knight, he's run with bad intentions. Picks up 13, up to 143 yards rushing, closing in on a career high.
At some point in this second half, Troy, being undersized on the defensive line, going to start feeling this JMU offensive line, leaning on them, the running game coming at them constantly. They've done their part so far. A turnover, can't get points off an interception with great field position.
They keep it on the ground. It's Knight one more time. And the approach by JMU in the second half has been very run heavy.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I forget how many plays that were run earlier, but it was a big difference in how many running plays, and only 2 passes had been thrown to this point in the second half. Very run heavy. 14 runs, only 3 passes the second half for JMU.
RPO. And a first down catch by Landon Ellis. Ball comes out. And it's Troy football. Back-to-back drives where Troy's defense comes up with a takeaway.
JMU is trying to let Troy stay in this game by turning the ball over. An interception, a fumble, now a fumble. Just kind of battling. You got to know when enough's enough. That's Landon Ellis.
And Justin Poe rips it out.
He'd been out with an injury, but back this week, and Poe with the strip, balls on the ground, and I'm not sure who came up with it. Maybe one of those big guys. Phyllis me. I want to see him dance again. I want to see big Marcus Spears put him on his list.
Big Mel, they call him, number 98 in white. And now the Troy offense gets another opportunity. Last time off the turnover, they went with a gadget play, a fake flea flicker. They told us they got a couple in the bag tonight. Let's see if they bring one out here. Goose Crowder, who missed 6 games with a broken collarbone. Chased from the backside and sacked. Sahir West. That is the 5th sack by this James Madison defense against a beat-up and bruised offensive line of Troy.
What a player. 6'4", 270. Excellent get-off speed. Can play inside at D-tackle and outside at defensive end. And when he turns the corner, he gets flat in a hurry and hits the gears. Man, he is a good player. Just a redshirt freshman.
He's been in the backfield a few times tonight. Crowder throws.
Nice catch.
That is hauled in by Epps across midfield. A dozen on the play. It sets up 3rd down.
And that gives them some life in this possession because they get it back to 3rd and medium. What Goose Crowder's got to stop doing, he saw West getting ready to turn the corner. That, to me, for a quarterback, is an invite to throw the football away. Find a receiver quickly, they get it out of your hands and down the field past the line of scrimmage. But you cannot continue to take sacks like this and expect to get your team back in the game.
Press coverage up top with Thomas and Cope. That's been the go-to matchup on these 3rd downs for Troy. Dudes dial up the blitz. Crowder is hit, and it's incomplete down the sideline. In coverage, the safety Tyler Brown, and Crowder, who has taken a beating today,
is down again with an ankle.
Turf.
Officials timeout. Injured player of the offense.
It's his right ankle.
He has been hit 10 times tonight.
A young man who we told you missed time this season with a broken collarbone last year, had a couple of concussions early on in the year, which sidelined him the rest of the way.
And it's Spinagatti who they bring on the blitz. He times blitz as well. Stepped in for Gannon Weathersby when he got hurt. He's been down with an ankle, but Spinagatti has played some really good football in his absence.
Now, if Troy has to go to its backup, it would be number 10, Tucker Kilcrease, who has started 7 games this season. And Kilcrease won his first 5 games as a starter this year in place of the injured Goose Crowder. But Kilcrease got banged up late in the year against Old Dominion. But he's had some big games, 415 yards, 5 touchdowns against Texas State. Ran for 100+ against South Alabama.
He may get thrown right in the fire with this 4th and 5 past midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Parker goes for it here.
I think Troy plays this game differently than James Madison. Troy is the giant underdog. Nobody gave them a chance all week. James Madison came in as a heavy favorite. The Dukes are playing for a potential shot at the college football playoff. Trying to get a Sun Belt championship. Obviously, they've got a coach who's headed to UCLA. But if you're Troy, you're kind of at that juncture of the game you wanted to be at, Andre.
Right.
Crowder's going to be helped off, and it's tough to see it end for that young man who's battled through injuries the last 2 years.
But you just knew he was taking a pounding, not throwing the ball away. Yeah, no one's going to question your toughness, all of that, but you got to protect yourself as well. And it just felt like one play too many. He held on to it a little bit too long.
It's been a tough go for him because Troy really has not given him the support in the run game. We've told you about all the injuries they've had on the offensive line, and suffered another one with their left tackle Eli Russ going down. Crenshaw threw a pass on a fake punt last week. It was actually to Donnie Smith. This one over the head of Knight. It bounces into the end zone. 52-yard kick. James Madison ball at the 20-yard line. Let's get you caught up how we got here. Wayne Knight with his team down 7-3, ripped off a 73-yard run. Hello, Newman. Goodbye, Newman. Knight's over 100 yards rushing.
And it's Wisloski reeling one in over the back of the secondary of Troy, and then Meadows comes back, gets himself into the end zone, and it got us to 17-14.
And we have been there since halftime. Nobody has scored in this third quarter. Barnett on the zone read, finds a seam. And an ankle tackle from behind by David Daniel Sisvana after a gain of 21. And if he's not tripped up by the safety, he's got some more real estate.
If David Daniel Sisvana doesn't make that ankle tackle, Barnett may be in a foot race to the end zone, one of the other safeties. I mean, he just reaches out, grabs him by the ankle, and is able to pull him down and save maybe a score there.
217 rushing yards for James Madison. 9th time this season they've gone over 200. They average 240 a game. Off play action. Barnett fits it in for a first down all the way to the 45-yard line of Troy. It's Nick DeGennaro.
Well, that's a nice layered throw over the top of the linebacker and into the hands of his receiver. Heck of a job there. And now Alonzo Barnett, he's been accurate with the ball. It's just drops have really affected his stat line.
Meanwhile, Goose Crowder on the cart. Tough to watch that. He's played tough today, taking a lot of hits. Barnett lunges forward for about a yard. That will take us to the fourth quarter. James Madison 15 minutes away from a Sun Belt championship. Troy has accomplished one of its big goals tonight. They've made it a 4-quarter game. Can they send a shockwave through college football by pulling one out in Harrisonburg?
Back at JMU with head coach Bob Chesney. Coach, what more do you want from your offense?
Yeah, I want to score right now. I want to hold on to football and score. We're dropping some balls. We end up in a situation where we turn the ball over as well. We got to put this drive together here. Our defense, so what a great job on those last 2 short fields. Phenomenal work. We just got to make sure we put this one together.
Where are the best opportunities to score?
I think I like the quarterback run game, him pulling a little bit. You watch every time this ball is handed off, they're dive bombing this. The RPO game still has life to it, and then we got to shoot it up top, especially when you watch these safeties come downhill. Maybe a double move coming in there.
Thank you.
So we were just talking about Anish with the safety for Troy and Poe coming downhill along with Lafayette. Those guys filling the alleys and trying to help in run support. And when you feel a little bit too quickly, all of a sudden Alonzo Barnett reshuffles, sets his feet, and you've got a receiver running loose in the secondary.
This is a 3rd and 8. This is where Donnie Smith, 22 and white, tends to eat. Quarterback draw. And Barnett out to about the 40. That play call leads you to believe James Madison
going for it on 4th.
Might be going for it on 4th down.
No doubt about it.
4th and 4. A minute gone by in this 4th quarter.
And the offense, Anish, to your point, staying right there on the field with man-to-man coverage.
Could this be where Alonzo Barnett pulls it like his head coach just said? He's in there. He finds Wisłowski for a 1st down.
They pick up the blitz. They bring the pressure. JMU picks up everyone and gives Barnett the time needed to find Wisłowski. Everyone picked up. Wisłowski wins in coverage, and chains move for an automatic 1st down there.
James Madison needs a win to have any chance at the 12-team playoff. Very much in the mix, ranked 25th in Tuesday's CFP rankings. Barnett backpedaling. Threw it behind Wayne Knight, who was open, 2nd and 10.
That's
over on ABC, Tulane leading North Texas 24-7 in the American Conference Championship. Now, that's going to be an interesting result to watch because Tulane and North Texas both ranked. Tulane higher, North Texas at 24. If Tulane were to win, North Texas could drop out of the top 25, and all of a sudden that win value drops for Tulane. Could that create a 50-50 deal with James Madison and Tulane? I'm not so sure, given the way James Madison has played today, because eye test is a part of it. It's 3rd down and 8 here. Had James Madison won this game 55-10, maybe there's an argument there. This is a close game. It's a 4-quarter game. I think James Madison's, their logical scenario is what we outlined earlier. Win, and then you got to hope Duke beats Virginia. And if Troy wins and Duke wins, I'm told that could create chaos in the selection committee proceedings this weekend.
But he's yelling because he can't see.
It's 3rd down and 9. Troy rushing 3, incomplete, 4th down. You're looking at a long field goal here.
And that's Wisłowski, who's usually a sure-handed receiver, and they have made him the focal point of the game plan tonight. Felt like, or with Dean Kennedy telling us that he was a guy that this game really fit, should be a big game for him. It hadn't been without trying that the offensive coordinator that you see there trying to get the ball in his hands. Has a touchdown catch and a couple of 3rd down receptions, but man, a couple have gotten away from him.
Andre, what do you make of this offense back out there? Your kicker Suarez, well, and just 2 for 6 from 44+ this year.
That and the defense is playing some outstanding football. I think you go ahead and take the chance here.
They will. Barnett stands in the pocket. That's going to be short. It's a catch, but it's a turnover on downs. And Troy's defense, the calling card all season has been what they do in the red zone. That wasn't quite the red zone, but they hold again. They have held James Madison off the board in the second half, and the Trojans might spring a Trojan horse on James Madison.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Anish Shroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra, Sun Belt Championship down to the wire, and Detroit turns to its backup quarterback, Tucker Kilcrease. He started 7 games this year, won his first 5 when Goose Crowder was out on first down, hands it off to Lovett, who rumbles ahead to the 33. It's a gain of 8. It's the longest run by any Troy non-quarterback today.
I want to go back to that at some point. He struggles so mightily in running the football. That'll take a little pressure off Tucker Gilcrease.
Gilcrease had a big game against Texas State this year, 415 through the air, 5 touchdowns. He can run as well, but he got banged up late in the year against Old Dominion. He runs here, and he got a yard, maybe 2. It brings up 3rd down.
Remember, Sean Regan told us that they had a pass for Gilcrease, for Gilcrease coming into this game, that we would see him. We just didn't know we'd see him at this stage under this circumstance with Goose Crowder out of the game. He's more than capable of producing for this offense. We mentioned it, 5-2 and 7 starts this year. They have total control, total confidence in him getting the job done.
We have not seen Emmanuel Bush in the middle of that James Madison defense all night. Do you go up the middle? Higgins, their 3rd down guy in motion.
They run it straight up the middle. And Meadows has enough for a first down. Bush was the guy, 0 in purple. He's not in the game. He hasn't been out there all night. He was the guy that concerned Detroit.
Yeah, a guy that could really command a double team. The transfer from Marshall, preseason second team, all Sun Belt. He's experienced, and they miss that experience right about now. But there have been some that have subbed in for him. Taddeo has played well tonight. Still in the game, number 33, right over the center.
Flag down.
False start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, 74's got Zaire West to his side, and you're trying to get an early start because of the quickness of West off the football. That'll make any tackle in college football jump. He has a huge future just being a redshirt freshman. Going to add some weight to that frame. He's quick as a cat, turns the corner, has got a bevy of pass rush moves.
1st and 15. Kilcrease in for the injured Crowder at quarterback. He keeps speed option. Now the pitch. And that goes for no gain. Elijah Culp taking down Trey Taylor. It's 2nd and 15.
That's about the 3rd time that Culp has made a tackle in the open field. Nice job of pressing by Kilcrease to get the defender to commit. But then it's guys like Culp who's filling in the alley and making tackles right at the ball carrier when he arrives. That's a heck of a job by that young man.
Team high 9 tackles tonight for the corner, Culp. Pressure again. Kilcrease able to get rid of it. A flag comes in from the secondary. Meadows hung on.
We'll call a hold.
Holding
against James
Defense
Madison.
number 2. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
And that's Culp. That's his 3rd penalty of the evening. And I want to say all of them have been a result of him grabbing a receiver's jersey. And that time it was Rod Thomas.
And that's an automatic first down, so 2nd and 15.
Watch the battle at the bottom of the screen between Culp and actually it's the smaller 130 and Trey Taylor.
Yeah, a lot of jersey grabbing. Less than 9 minutes to go in the 4th. Troy seeking its 3rd Sun Belt title in 4 years. Lovett goes wide. Kilcrease, quarterback draw. Picks up a couple. 2nd and 8. And the formula for Troy tonight, they were hoping to have one of these long, time-consuming drives. Shorten the game. We heard that a lot. Hit the explosives. Their defense has kept them in all night, certainly in the 2nd half.
Denise, this is right where Gerard Parker wants to be. Jared Parker, I'm sorry. This is exactly where he wants to be in terms of the ball in his hands, clock ticking down, 4th quarter with a chance to win. And getting to this position hadn't been easy, but here they are.
Kilcrease again. Guess who? Zaire West. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long, and how much do they trust Kilcrease to throw it downfield?
Amar Thomas in there helping out with Zaire West, but man, has he taken over the football game at the line of scrimmage, just dominating the line of scrimmage. And now he goes back over to Townsend's side where he had a false start earlier in this possession.
West has 4 TFLs. The Dukes 11 tackles for a loss. On 3rd down, Kilcrease under duress, looking for an escape route, and he doesn't get much, maybe a half yard. It brings up 4th down. The punt team trots on as we come up on 7 minutes to play. So Troy will need another stop from this defense.
You just wonder how many How many stops does Troy's defense have left in it? Just kind of feels like a big play percolating. And you just don't want it to be now if you're a Troy Trojan fan.
Crenshaw's 10th punt of the night. Wayne Knight watches this bounce. It takes a Troy roll, and it's downed at the 17-yard line, a 40-yard kick. Neither team has scored in this second half. James Madison with the ball and the lead. Looking at the last 5 Sun Belt champions, App State in 2019. Ragin' Cajuns in 2021. And Troy in 2022 and 2023. And then last year, it was the Marshall Thundering Herd, and then Charles Huff, their head coach, left to take the Southern Miss job. Almost got Southern Miss.
Almost got him right back in here.
Into the Sun Belt Championship, but Troy went on the road and won in Hattiesburg last week. So Troy is here. They have given James Madison their all. But the Dukes have the ball and a 3-point lead. Fake toss. Barnett looking for room. Got a nice block upfield, and he gets out to the 24-yard line. The safety, David Daniel Sisvana, with the tackle, and you hate to see that. Goose Crowder, Troy's quarterback, already missed time with a broken collarbone this year. This was his 4th game back.
Yeah, they have another game. I mean, they're bowl eligible. They're at 8-4. They're going bowling, and regardless of what happens in this game, and so you would hope that he'd be available for their bowl game, but it looks like it may be in doubt.
He played his heart out tonight. There's Wayne Knight trying to bounce it to the outside. He's got a first down all the way across the 30. 7 more for Knight, up to 153, a new career high.
Nice run there, kind of making a guy miss
player of the offense
in the open field. And they've got Carter Sweezy is down right about now, their left guard. He started every game this season, and they hope that he can get himself back, get back in this game. He plays really hard. They love him. They love to pull it. So when they run counters and just sweeps and things of that sort, they love getting him in space on corners.
Third team all-conference lineman remains down. We'll step aside. Coming up after the game, Sports Center with Nicole Briscoe and Ryan Smith. They'll have the star of tonight's game on the show. Sam Acho has the keys to Saturday's championship games. Plus, the captain of the U.S. men's national team reacts to the World Cup draw. First down and 10, James Madison, 5:41 to go, fourth quarter. Wayne Knight gets the call, scavenging for yards. And he's out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
They're showing some experience, got in a crowded area, Anish, and both hands on the football as he's driving forward, trying to pick up extra yards, making sure that thing doesn't get ripped out or snatched out, and give Troy any added advantage of trying to come up with a fumble recovery and a quick score.
James Madison taking its time. Right back tonight. Slips away. Into the secondary and beyond. Out of bounds inside the Troy 30-yard line. It's a run of 40 yards, and Knight over 200 yards rushing.
Yeah, he makes Jordan Stringer miss. The captain, J-Rock, is right in the hole with him. He makes a miss, and then he's off to the races. All 5'7", 190 pounds of Wayne Knight, and he has had some night tonight. No pun intended.
He's going to be just a tick shy
of that 200-yard mark. He'll get a breather with Mallory in there. Wazlowski in motion. Quarterback run. Barnett using a lead blocker. Gets free. Barnett to the end zone. That's the player of the year in the Sun Belt.
Oh, what a play, what a sequence. The last two plays for JMU. Wayne Knight with a big run to get it started, and then his quarterback, Alonzo Barnett, making guys miss, breaking tackles, another missed tackle by Stringer, and that results in a big play by Barnett as he gets loose on the back end, and nobody could get him on the ground, not even Levine.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 28. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. This is number 28's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
So the penalty is on Mallory, and the look by Bob Chesney says it all.
This is going to give Troy some pretty good field position on the kickoff.
The PAT by Suarez, good. It's a 2-score lead for James Madison, 4:11 left. Troy still has 3 timeouts in the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, Mallory leads Barnett through the hole, and then it's just kind of Barnett. A pickoff block by Mallory, a broken tackle of Jordan Stringer, and then Levine just could not catch up with Barnett.
7th time this season, Alonzo Barnett has had a rushing and passing touchdown in the same game. A young man who tore his ACL on the final play of the regular season last year. They weren't sure what his status would be to begin the season. He was ready for fall camp. Early in the year, he and Matthew Sluka were in a bit of a timeshare, and then after the loss to Louisville, it was Barnett. And probably a few weeks later, mid-October, they took the training wheels off Barnett, and they kind of unleashed him as a dual threat. And that's when this team really took off. They've won 10 in a row overall. Again, that one loss was to Louisville. And if they hang on here in the last 4-11, they'll be watching with intent when the playoff bracket is revealed Sunday.
It's kind of felt like a 2-quarterback system might work against Weber State, where they put up 45, but not against Louisville. And it just kind of forced them to look internally at if it was really going to last the entire season. They made the choice to go strictly with Barnett.
Epps faked the handoff on the return, gets out across the 40. Kark?
December 5th, 2024. 1 year ago to the day, Alonzo Barnett had ACL and patella graft surgery. He told me he's such a quick healer that the medical staff personnel said his bone density was so thick it dulled the blade. And 12 days after surgery, he was balancing on one leg to test his strength, even though the trainers told him not to. He was so stubborn, he said, in his stubborn mind, and no other thoughts other than getting back to full strength. And to be in a moment like this after that major surgery and missing time, incredible.
And he's made of adamantium. Kilcrease in at quarterback for Troy, taking over for the injured Crowder. He's got to throw it downfield. It's too high for Epps. And what Troy has to do is a tall order. They're down by 10, and they're facing a James Madison team that has given up in the last 10 games, 16 total fourth-quarter points.
Yeah, if you thought you were going to kind of ease Tucker Kilcrease into this game, you're not going to be able to with that score. Got to take the training wheels off now and allow him to try to bring this team back by any means necessary, and that's going to be through the air, because JMU's not going to give up anything on the ground.
He's under pressure. He goes down.
Guess who?
Sack number 6 by James Madison. It's the two ends, West and Thomas.
Not sure who got there first. They may share that sack, but Zaire West is there along with Amar Thomas. And boy, when West turns the corner, good things happen defensively for JMU.
Four-man rush. Kilcrease incomplete for Epps. Covered by Eaglin. All 5 DBs for James Madison. All conference selections. It's 4th down and 19.
You're trying to pick up about half of it there to give yourself a chance on 4th down. Having to go for it, you don't know if you're going to get the ball back with 3:26 left. Keep an eye on 15. He knows that they gotta throw the football. He's at the top of the screen.
Three-man rush with a spy. Kilcrease hit. The ball is out. Picked up by James Madison. Touchdown for the Dukes. Drew Spinagatti, the scoop and score.
West with the play, the scoop and score by Spinagatti. And James Madison has just broken this thing open. Boy, what a talent they have in that redshirt freshman who's going to be super. He makes the sack fumble. Spinagatti picks it up and houses the thing for more points for JMU.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of coaches around the country watching. I'm sure Bob Chesney might want to take him to UCLA.
No doubt about it.
But Zaire West is no longer a hidden secret here in Harrisonburg.
6'4", 270, with the capability of adding more weight and speed to that frame.
Andre tonight, he's got 3 sacks, 5.5 TFLs, and 10 tackles overall. He was the freshman of the year in the Sun Belt. He's had a breakout game in the championship.
And he spent the whole night in the backfield of Troy, pretty much. That is just crazy, the talent that is seeping from Zaire West.
Yes, Zaire West, redshirt freshman, finance major, and Spinagatti, who was a Holy Cross transfer. That's where Bob Chesney used to coach, as Jared Parker is furious with the officials about something.
I mean, totally upset. Not sure what got him so fired up. And he's still letting him have it.
Now, he was pointing at the ground. It makes you wonder, did he think that Kilcrease was down?
Didn't look like it on the replays that we had a chance to see.
Rosa kicks it away. Think of the journey for some of these James Madison 5th and 6th year guys. We'll talk about that after another look here on the replay.
Just continuously turning that corner low. There is no way that Kilcrease was down. That ball's clearly out, and the scoop and score was called just right.
And maybe he thought Spinagatti at one point was down, but either way, and James Madison, with a couple of scores, has taken a 3-score lead with 3:17 to go. Troy took James Madison to the final round, and then James Madison landed a couple of haymakers.
You think West is over on the sideline talking about it with his teammates? No, right back on the field.
Epps on the comeback for a gain of 8. To finish the thought, some of the guys on James Madison, 5th-year guys, their journey saw them shepherd a program from the FCS to the FBS, from the FCS playoffs to potentially the college football playoff.
Some job. It's a heck of a job by the players in the program, the coaches in their preparation for getting this these young men ready. And I tell you what, they have answered the bell tonight.
West, pressure again. He's in the backfield once more. I don't know if he gets credit for that one. Xavier Holmes gets credited for that sack, but West came off the edge, almost unblocked.
I think West just swung and missed. he had a beeline on Gilchrist and just maybe missed it. You get Holmes coming from one side, and he clearly had the better shot at Gilchrist and missed, and then Holmes just cleaned things up.
We have come to the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Zaire West, the redshirt freshman, living in the backfield tonight. 8 sacks for James Madison, on the verge of a Sun Belt title. James Madison's path to the playoff, according to the All-State playoff predictor. The Duke's on the verge of winning tonight. If the Duke Blue Devils win the ACC championship over Virginia, James Madison, a practical lock. If they win tonight, and the other scenario would entail that Virginia wins the ACC championship, it says 55%. I'm not so sure the odds are going to be in James Madison's favor, because at that point, you're going up against the American Conference champion, both currently ranked, North Texas and Tulane. That game over on ABC. Tulane was winning at the half. Tulane is ranked 20th, North Texas 24th. Could it happen? Sure. 55 again. I don't know what the math is, Andre. That number seems high on the surface.
It does. I mean, it really does if Virginia takes care of business. And but, you know, if you're JMU, you're holding on to any chances that you can get to get in the college football playoffs.
At the very least.
The field of a completed catch for a first down is under video review.
I wondered if they were going to take a look at this, because it looked Looked like the defender may have pushed him out of bounds.
It was Peyton Higgins, who's been their first down, third down guy all season, and foot is in, and now does he complete the catch? That's the question. Gets that right foot in. Let's bring in Jerry McGinnis, our rules analyst. Jerry, it appears the question is, does he hold on to the ball long enough for that to be a catch?
Exactly. So we have the shot of the right foot coming down, but there at the end, he loses control of the ball. So it's a great stop by replay. Yeah. So they will overturn this to an incomplete pass.
Yeah, if that's in the field of play, that's a catch, but because he goes out of bounds, it's no
control.
Catch.
Yeah.
James Madison has averaged double-digit wins in all of its seasons playing an FBS schedule. That's the average. A proud program. They've won a couple of national championships at the FCS level. In 2022 and 2023, they won their division in the Sun Belt. But because they were in that process of reclassifying from FCS to FBS, they were ineligible for this game. And this year, from start to finish, not only have they been the best team in the Sun Belt, they have been arguably the best, or one of the best in the group of five.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The receiver did not establish firm control. It'll be fourth down at the 27-yard line.
So fourth down for Troy. And
overturn, yeah.
Overturn. And, you know, one last thought. You think of what Bob Chesney inherited last year. James Madison team that lost 13 players to Kurt Signetti, the old coach, and Indiana. And those 13 players helped Indiana get to the college football playoff. They still had a pretty good season last year, and Alonzo Barnett comes back with far healthier than expected. Player of the year. Now there'll be some nerves on Sunday. If Duke beats Virginia Saturday night, those nerves go down quite a bit.
Way down.
Fourth down. Kilcrease looking for Higgins, incomplete. And James Madison takes over. And Higgins
caught a shoulder by Barksdale. And man, just jolted him.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Been a physical game. Troy's defense held James Madison off the board for most of the second half.
In this weather, that type of hit, man, that is, you got your teeth chattering on that hit. Ooh, feel that way up here.
Now that's one where it didn't look like targeting because it was below the shoulders, below the neck area, but we've seen unnecessary roughness called on that before, but no call. And you hope Higgins is okay already tonight. Troy lost at starting quarterback Goose Crowder. Eli Russ, their starting left tackle, also went down.
Looking at the bling of Alonzo Barnett that I would dare not wear in a game, because if it comes off, you don't know it's off until it's too late.
Has that happened?
I'm sure it has to have happened.
Your teammate or anybody, you know?
Some point somewhere, somebody's, you know, gone into a game with some jewelry on, and about the time you're ready to hit the shower, you realize it's not there.
1:49 left. There's Wayne Knight. Snakes around the edge. Now this game is over. But you do wonder if James Madison is looking for some style points here.
Well, They're not going to stop running plays, and it's up to Troy to keep them out of the end zone. And so they're obliging by running the football. You got to stop them, get a handle on Wayne Knight, which you haven't been able to do all night long. And I think now he's over 200 yards at 212.
2-1-2 on the ground, and now victory formation for James Madison. Troy's got 3 timeouts. Doesn't look like they'll stop the clock. And James Madison will win its first Sun Belt title. They put the ribbon and wrapping paper on a 12-1 season with potentially
impressive
a few more presents to open after Sunday.
At the very least, they're going to have one game, which is a bowl game. You get in the playoff, then there's a possibility to kind of keep playing for a while.
The Dukes have done their part, and now for Harrisonburg and all of JMU Nation, it's up to Duke to do its part Saturday night in the ACC Championship. In that scenario, if the Blue Devils beat the Virginia Cavaliers in the ACC title game, James Madison is a virtual lock for the college football playoff. Just an amazing run from FCS to FBS over the last few years. And the Dukes are kings of the Sun Belt. Final score 31-14. James Madison's D pitches a second-half shutout. And their big players, Wayne Knight, Alonzo Barnett, made the big plays when it mattered.
Yeah, they did. And 223 yards from scrimmage for Wayne Knight. Troy only had 177. And then Zaire West, boy, did he do it, and do it big on the defensive side of the ball for JMU. Dominant at the line of scrimmage, dominant as a pass rusher, and we will call that name going forward big time. Zaire West going to be one heck of a football player going forward for either here at JMU or somewhere down the road.
James Madison, your Sun Belt champion in 2025. Fans rushing out onto the field. The head coach, Bob Chesney, told us that if this team gets into the playoff, he'll wait on UCLA and he'll coach the team through the college football playoff. Down to Kark in that sea of purple.
I've got Wayne Knight. He ran and he ran and he ran. Unbelievable performance. What was the difference with the offense down the stretch in that second half?
Yeah, man, we knew we just wanted it more. We went there, we went in the inside, we made our adjustments, and we knew that we had to execute to win this game. And it came down to the offensive linemen, man. Those boys up front, they do everything they do. They're the reason why I am who I am. So appreciate those boys up front.
212 yards, that's a career high for you, Wayne. When you get the ball, what goes through your mind?
I got to make a play for my team, man. You know, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. So, you know, we just needed to execute, and we needed to make that splash play. And I knew I was probably going to have to be the one to do that, so I just made the play.
This is a crazy scene. They love you here, Wayne. Why does JMU deserve to be in the college football playoff?
It's the greatest place in the world to play football. We talk about it every day, and, you know, we come out on this field and we show it day in and day out. You know, on the field, off the field. We do the right things, and we just have the right coach and the right people here just to do everything right.
Unbelievable performance. Enjoy this one.
Thank you.
You deserve a honey bun. I know that's your cheat food.
Appreciate it. Thank
you. He deserves more than one.
Couple of honey buns.
And James Madison has put itself in the conversation on Selection Sunday. The committee will meet. They will debate. Should Virginia win the ACC, James Madison will still be in the discussion. If Duke wins the ACC Saturday night, you just watched a playoff team in Harrisonburg on Friday night. For Andre Ware and Paul Carcaterra, I'm Anae Schroff. SportsCenter next. South of France. And then you had the defensive play of Zaire West, who just showed out. 3+ sacks, living in the backfield all night, Andre.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, you had a star on the offensive side of Wayne Knight, and he made his presence felt early here in this one against Troy. Alonzo Barnett didn't have it in the passing game, but he certainly aided pulling the ball down. And then on the defensive side, Zaire West is just a story that a lot of people who watch this game are going to come away with. And that young man is going to have some decisions to make here in the very near future.
All season long, James Madison was the best team in the Sun Belt beyond any reasonable doubt. They were expected at the start of the season to compete for a league title, for a spot in the college football playoff. And it's Saturday and Sunday in games that could determine James Madison's fate. They'll be very much in the mix for the conversation for a spot in the 12th team playoff this coming Sunday.
Let's take a look at their defense, and the highlights just controlled the line of scrimmage all night long. West with his first sack of the game, just everywhere tonight, whether it was on the right side of the formation, the left side. He was just continuously terrorizing this offensive line for Troy. Sack, fumble, comes out. And they get that return for a touchdown. But Zaire West is just, I mean, I don't think I saw it, that type of production on film. Certainly saw it live and was very impressed by what I had a chance to see.
He had 4 sacks on the season coming into the game. 3 more tonight, 5.5 TFLs.
And led him in tackles with 10 total tackles, 5 solo, a forced fumble. It was a stat sheet for JMU and West on that side of the ball. And you see there the 8 sacks that JMU came away with this. Last time I saw that a couple of weeks ago with the Texans and the Bills, and it was a dominant performance in that one.
And you give Troy a lot of credit. They were a considerable underdog going into the game. They battled.
Yeah.
They made it a 4-quarter game.
Had chances, Anish, in this one where they had an interception. They had a fumble that came out. Could do nothing with the turnovers, and the ball went right back to JMU, who eventually you felt like was going to take over in this game if Troy couldn't do anything to either tie it up or pull themselves ahead. JMU able to be resilient, held Troy in check, and pulled away in the 4th quarter.
In the second half, Troy managed no points, no scores, only 45 total yards. They averaged less than 2 yards per play. And all season long, James Madison has been an exceptional team in the second half. They've now outscored their last 3 opponents 69-3 in the second half. And in the 4th quarter, it's been one of the best 4th quarter teams in college football. Yeah. We saw that again. Alonzo Barnett with his feet. Big touchdown run to give James Madison some breathing room, and then Spinagati the scoop and score on the sack fumble.
Just a lot of drops that are going to have to clean itself up if they're going to go into the playoff and give themselves a chance. You got to clean up the drops, but the production otherwise across the board, offense, defense, special teams, it was certainly there. The running game that travels along with defense. So any game they're in, they're going to give themselves a chance. But if they can clean up the passing game and the drops, scary team to play.
No program in the history of college football has made a seamless jump from the FCS to the FBS the way James Madison has. They were a power at the FCS, and they were essentially a power in their league and against the teams they played since they became an FBS program. Let's get you now out to the public address announcer here at Bridgeport Stadium.
In offense for the trophy celebration, here is ESPN's Paul Carcaterra.
Thank you. How about those JMU Dukes? Want to congratulate the 2025 Sun Belt champion, JMU. And would also like to congratulate Troy on an unbelievable evening and season. present today's award is Sun Belt Conference Commissioner Keith Gill. Joining Commissioner Gill on stage, we have President Jim Schmidt, Director of Athletics Matt Rohn, and your coach, Bob Chesney. And at this time, we'd also like to introduce the Sun Belt Conference Championship MVP, Wayne Knight. Get over here, Wayne. 212 yards on the ground. That's a career high. What allowed you to be so electric tonight?
God, man, just put it in God's hands and he'll make everything right. Shout out to Mom Dukes, too.
How would you describe what it's like to be a JMU Duke?
Unbelievable, man. It's the greatest place in the world to play football. We talk about it every day, and we live in it right now.
Congratulations, Wayne. Let's give it up for the MVP one more time. And now, to present the trophy for the 2025 Sun Belt Conference Champions, Commissioner Keith Gill.
On behalf of the Sun Belt Conference, I would like to really congratulate both teams. Well-played game, great atmosphere, great crowd. And I just want to announce the 2025 Sun Belt Conference champions, the JMU Dukes.
For you?
There's a lot of emotion in here right now. You know, we talk a lot about it. It takes a full year to put a trophy in a trophy case. It didn't just happen tonight. And these guys' commitment to each other, their belief in each other, and these fans, these students, right? This moment, to be here standing in front of you and lifting that trophy over your head, only one team can do that in the league. And there was a lot of sacrifice to get here, and this team certainly knows what that sacrifice was.
We know the offensive star was Wayne Knight. Defensively, 8 sacks, 14 TFLs. What allowed that unit to tick?
Man, they are relentless. They are relentless, and it starts with their coordinator, Colin Hitchler. He's relentless. All of that staff is relentless, and they just come to work every single day. They take personal every single inch of grass that other team gains on them, and they just fight.
You look around here, you see the body of work of this team. Why should JMU be in the college football playoff?
Because they belong in here. John Paul. What we've done on the field, to me, speaks volumes about it. One blemish on our record, and that's it. We won games a lot of different ways. And to me, you want us in there because of all of this, and all of these people, and all of these fans. That's why.
11 in a row. Congratulations, Coach, to you, your team, your program in Harrisonburg. Your 2025 Sun Belt football champions, the JMU Dukes.
Motherfucker, by you real quick.